If you've never gone camping before and have no idea where to start, then this video's for you. I'm gonna share what gear you need, how to book a campsite, food to bring, beginner mistakes to avoid. This is gonna be your complete guide to camping like a pro in no time if you've never gone camping before in your life. Now, I grew up going camping all the time when I was younger. Me and my family would go multiple times during the summer. They're some of my favorite memories to look back on. And now as an adult, I still love to go camping. It may look a little different now, but I still love camping, and if you've ever wanted to go camping, this video is for you. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know, and we're going to talk about the cheapest way to start, different ways to go camping, what gear is actually worth buying, and how to do your first camping trip with as little stress as possible. So we're going to start with section 1, which is what type of camping do you actually want to do? Now, there's many different ways to actually go camping. So you have your traditional camping in a camper, you have camping in a tent, you have car camping where you just sleep out of the back of your car and have all your gear in there with you. There is backpacking, there is even cabins you can rent, there is dispersed camping. You can also do rooftop tent camping, which is something I've done quite a bit of, and I wouldn't recommend it for your very first time camping, which I'll get to more in a minute. But if you do want to learn more about rooftop tents, say you already got one, I've got a lot of videos about that, which I will link down below. I have videos explaining the pros and cons of them, and then a video going into everything you may need to know about rooftop tents. So if you're already set on doing a rooftop tent, I definitely recommend checking out those videos, or if you just want to learn more about them in general. But unless you already have a camper or a rooftop tent, I recommend just buying a simple tent and doing it that way. Don't go out and spend thousands on something like that camper if you don't even know if you like camping yet. Get used to the basics just in a tent. You can get a simple used one for pretty cheap at places even like Walmart. You can buy them used on Facebook Marketplace or at reselling sites, or you can even ask your friends or family if they have a tent you can borrow to try out going camping in. Or maybe you have a friend or family member that will come with you that's gone camping before. You can borrow their gear, you can learn from them, they can teach you everything you need to know, and it is helpful to have somebody with you that's been camping before. So if you have a friend or family member that's been camping, tell them you want to go camping for the first time. I'm sure they will be super excited to go with you, to teach you everything, to bring their supplies and show you how to use it. And it'll just make your first camping trip a lot less scary and intimidating. So pick what feels right for you. In this video, I'll primarily be talking about, like I said, just simple tent camping, but you can apply anything that I'm going to talk about to different ways of camping. But like I said, the simplest, easiest, cheapest way to start, getting a tent and just doing it that way. So section 2 is going to be about how do you actually pick a campsite and how do you find campsites. And remember, nothing in this video is sponsored, so I'm going to be listing out a few different websites and apps that I use. The first and probably my favorite is recreation.gov. They have a website, they have an app, and these are all ones run by the government. They're all usually very clean. They have usually a lot of amenities like picnic tables, campfire rings, they usually have restrooms and maybe even showers. And before you actually book a campsite with them, you can learn everything about the campsite. They usually have pictures of the campsite so you can go through, choose which one you like best, or maybe whichever one works best with, if you are doing it in a camper, that works with the length of your camper. If you're doing a tent, you can see if it's a tent spot. So I really like recreation.gov because it's easy to use. You can see all the pictures and amenities and everything beforehand, and it's just very beginner friendly. There's also apps like The Dirt and iOverlander. You can see both paid and free campsites on there, but keep in mind a lot of times that free or dispersed camping sites don't have a lot of amenities, and if you're camping for the very first time, you're going to want things like a picnic table, a fire pit, and bathrooms, especially if you're in a tent and don't have a toilet to go in. But I find that these apps aren't always 100% accurate, and they might be a little harder to book the sites. They may direct you to the actual website of the campground where you can book through there or have to call them, but it is a good way to find other local or unique camping sites. Of course, just a simple Google search or going on TikTok and looking up campsites near wherever you're headed is an easy way to do it as well. Usually you can just go right to the website and see everything you need to know on there before you book. And word of mouth is always a great way to find new campsites as well. If somebody's been there, you can trust them, you know it's good, it may have some beautiful views, it may be very safe, very clean, all those different things. So you can usually trust somebody to give you good advice if you ask for it. And like I said, I wouldn't recommend doing dispersed camping first, which is usually just those free sites, maybe on public land where you can go camping on, but there's usually no or very little amenities. So I recommend recommend doing something like recreation.gov first, where you can see all the different details about the campsite and learn about exactly what you're in for beforehand. So what actually makes a good beginner campsite? Those amenities that I just listed out, making sure they have a public bathroom. If you're going to be there for a few days and you maybe want to shower, definitely check out that beforehand. If you are using a camper, does it have a water hookup, electric hookup, or a dump station? Is there water access at the campground? Are you bringing paddle boards or kayaks and want easy access down to a river or a lake? I would say go somewhere that's not too isolated for your first time. It does just feel a little more comforting, a little more safe to have other people around, in my opinion. Another thing to check out is if there's cell service. You may be relying on your phone for things like directions or to stay in touch with your family. So sometimes you can find that online. Sometimes you may have to go to a more general map to see if it's covered or not. Another thing you can check out, and this you can see if there's actual photos of the site online, is if there's actually shade or coverage, because you don't want to be out in a campsite with no shade, no coverage all day long in the sun. It is really nice to have trees and some coverage. So if you can, I would try to find all that stuff out beforehand, especially for this first trip. And a lot of campgrounds don't have pictures of every single site on their campsite, but it is nice to see beforehand if they do have that. But most of the time, websites will have if they have fire pits, picnic tables, and toilets listed. All right, now we're on to section 3, which is camping gear you actually need. I'm going to talk about some essentials and some things that are just nice to have. So let's talk about the essentials first. And the first and the biggest thing, of course, is your tent and where you're going to sleep. Obviously, you need a tent to go camping with. I wouldn't recommend getting a giant one if it's your first time camping or if it's just you and one other person. Get a small 2 to 4 person one. That is all you need. It's plenty of space. And like I was mentioning before, you can get these used for a really good price. You can ask family members to borrow them, or you can buy them at Walmart for cheap prices as well. Don't go out and spend tons of money on a setup if you don't even know if you're gonna like camping yet. The next essential item is your sleep setup, of course. Decide what you actually want to be sleeping on. Do you want to do a cot? Do you want to do an air mattress? Those are the 2 most popular ways. Again, you can get cots used on Facebook Marketplace. You can get them at Walmart. Same with air mattresses as well, although I'd be a little more hesitant to buying an air mattress secondhand just because you don't know the condition, you don't know if there's holes in it, which I will get to more in a second. But if you do go the air mattress route, remember you're going to need a pump or a way to inflate it as well. You're going to need a sleeping bag, your pillows, your blankets. Now, sleeping in a tent can be finicky. It usually feels really cold at night. You're going to want to bundle up, bring more than just a sleeping bag, bring a quilt, bring an extra blanket or 2, because it's going to be easier to take it off if you don't need it than wish that you had it when it's really cold. But then in the morning, you usually wake up just really hot. You want to get all those layers off of you. So making sure that you have layers is really important to be comfortable in that cold at night and that heat in the morning. It's like that as well with clothing. Bring clothes for the heat and the cold. Bring sweatshirts you can remove. Bring extra pairs of socks. Another thing you're going to want to bring is a headlamp or some kind of flashlight. If you have to walk to the bathroom at night, you're going to want some kind of headlamp. Or if you have to get out of your tent in the middle of the night to grab something for your car, anything like that, you're going to want a headlamp or a flashlight. And of course, you're going to need water and food, and enough of it depending on how long you're going. Make sure you keep your food locked away at night in your car, tucked away. Don't leave anything open. Don't leave any food in your tent. You may get some unwanted visitors that way, and yes, it may be something as simple as just a raccoon or a fox, but it could be something like a bear. You never know. Animals have really great sense of smell, so do not leave any food in your campsite. Don't leave anything open. Make sure it's tucked away in your car, or if you don't have a car, you have a safe way to tuck your food away, like in a bear canister. Bug spray and sunscreen are both also considered essentials in my opinion. You don't want to get burned. You don't want to have the bugs be bothering you the whole time and ruin your trip, because if there's tons of mosquitoes out, it will make you feel pretty miserable. It is just not fun. You're going to want to be tucked away in your tent the whole time, so definitely make sure you have bug spray and sunscreen. And of course you're camping, so you're going to want to have a campfire, so make sure you actually have a way to do the fire. Bring firewood, bring kindling, bring a way to light the fire, like some matches or a lighter. Check it all out beforehand. Make sure it works, because most of the time campgrounds don't provide firewood with you, or you have to buy it on site and it's usually really expensive. So just make sure you bring bring all that stuff beforehand. You're gonna want a camp chair as well to sit around the fire. Again, you can get these really cheap at Walmart or on Facebook Marketplace, there's tons of them. Ask a friend or family member to borrow one for a weekend. You're gonna want a cooler and ice for your food and drinks. Now you don't need a massive one unless you're gonna be gone for a long time, but it's your first camping trip, so I'd recommend keeping it at 1 to 2 days. And now I'm gonna move on to the nice to have category, where they're not necessarily considered essentials, but things you may still want to consider bringing. First is going to be a camp table. They have tons of portable folding ones that are really easy to take down and put up, and these are really nice to have in addition to a picnic table because you can move it around, you can bring it in your tent with you, you can move it to the fire pit and use it as a s'more prep table. So I just think they're really nice to have. You may also want to bring some lanterns or string lights, especially if you plan on playing some card games, staying up a little later. It's just really nice to have some form of light besides a flashlight or a headlamp, and string lights are always just fun to have to make your campsite a little more whimsical, a little more fun. You can put them on the outside and string them on the trees. You can put them inside your tent and have them be really pretty and a nice little source of light in there. Also consider card games and entertainment. Bring some books, bring some things to read. Camping is the perfect time to just sit in your chair, relax, read, play some card games. A portable fan is also really nice. I've talked about my hanging tent fan for years now. It's one of my all-time favorite camping items. It's great because it's very versatile. You can stand it up and use it on a picnic table. Mine has a light in it even. You can use it as a light, a fan, and stand it on a table. And then when nighttime rolls around, you can bring it up into your tent, hang it from the top of your tent, and then you have a source of light from the top and also a fan going down. And if you're camping in the summer, it does often get really hot in your tent, I will say. So having a fan like that is just a lifesaver on hot summer nights. It just makes you sleep so much better because it can get really hot. Having a little power station is really nice for your phone. Just having a little portable charger, really nice. You don't want to be without your phone if there's an emergency. You want it for taking pictures, for navigation. Just make sure you have a way to charge your phone. A little camp rug is nice to put outside your tent. It just provides somewhere where you can stand, put your shoes on and off, and not track dirt in or out of your tent. A little Bluetooth speaker is really nice as well, but make sure you're not blasting it so the people next to you can hear it. Be respectable with it, but it is nice to have just some ambiance music. Like I said, in your tent, outside your tent, sitting around the fire. Music is nice to have, but be respectful about it. If you really like coffee, you can bring a little coffee setup or a camp stove to boil water on. And you may want that camp stove as well for preparing some of your meals depending on what you're actually bringing. Things like hot dogs you can cook over the fire, but a camp stove is really nice to have. Just make sure you practice with it beforehand at home. Make sure you know how to hook it up. If you're bringing a little propane canister, again, make sure it works well first. Test everything out beforehand at home. And now I want to talk about a few things that you shouldn't spend your money on yet. First being expensive knives or axes or a lot of big tools that you just don't need yet. Bring cut firewood with. You're not going to be roughing it too much on this trip. You also don't need expensive cookware or giant expensive coolers. And also don't waste your money on ultralight gear. That is usually more geared toward backpacking, where you want your backpack to be as light as possible because you don't have your car with you and you have to carry everything on your back to your campsite. So they are usually a bit more expensive than regular camping gear, and you don't need to spend money on anything ultralight just yet. And remember, you can save a lot of money by buying a lot of these used or asking a friend or family member. And a big tip that I have is to test everything out beforehand, especially if you're getting it used or secondhand. If you've never put a tent together before, watch a little YouTube tutorial on how to do it. Go practice in your backyard or your living room. Make sure you know how to put it together before you get out to your campsite. Check to make sure there's no rips, tears, or holes in it. Same with an air mattress as well. Blow it up beforehand, make sure there's no holes in it. They also make little patch kits for them, so if there is a hole, you can patch it up or bring it with you just in case there's an emergency. This could save you so much headache at the campsite because if something big goes wrong, you may have to just pack up and go home completely. So try everything out beforehand, make sure you know how to use all your gear, and make sure it's all working properly. And now we're on to section 4, which is all about food. First tip, of course, is to make sure you're bringing enough water. Bring more than you think you need, and keep your first trip easy. Don't be planning intricate, fancy meals. Just bring something easy. You can make sandwiches. You can bring all the things to make them at the campsite. An easy peanut butter and jelly is so delicious at a campground and so easy to make. Hot dogs are one of my favorites. Cooking them over the fire, making sure you have one of those little rods that you can stick your hot dog on, cook it over the fire. Don't forget your condiments like ketchup and mustard. I love to bring a bag of chips. Like Doritos taste so good when you're camping. So make sure you have your water. You can bring your chips and your sides. I like to prepare some fruit. I find that grapes are really easy because I can just stick them in my cooler. They're not going to get soggy or gross. And of course, just different snacks. You can bring your instant coffee and definitely bring stuff to make s'mores, your graham crackers, your Hershey's chocolate, and your jet puffed marshmallows. Now for me, I'm a name brand girly when it comes to s'more supplies. It's gotta be the actual name brand graham crackers, the chocolate, and the marshmallow. Because to me, I can just taste if it's off brand and it just doesn't taste right to me. But I'm just a little picky in that way where I really like my name brand for certain items, including s'mores. So definitely keep that in mind if you're also a little picky about brands. That was a little bit of a side tangent, but I think s'mores taste so much better when they're the name brand items. But some beginner mistakes I see with food are forgetting your ice in general. You want to make sure if you're bringing stuff like meat, you have a way to keep it cold. We have definitely had our fair share of letting our ice melt and letting our meat sit a little too long without being cold, and me and my husband both got a little sick from it. So make sure you have enough ice for your camping trip, or if there's a gas station nearby or your camp store may sell it, just make sure you have a way to get ice if you're camping for longer than a day. Also make sure not to forget your paper plates, your napkins, your silverware and utensils. I like bringing paper ones because then I can just toss them in the fire after and I don't have to worry about garbage. You also don't want to bring too much food. The more you have to pack, the more you don't use, the more you have to actually bring in. So plan everything out beforehand and just bring what you need. Make sure you have all the condiments and seasonings you need. Make sure you have enough water. And remember, make sure you have a way to pack your food away when you're done. Don't leave any food scraps out. And quickly, I'm going to touch on clothing and comfort again. Remember your layers. Temperature swings will happen. Make sure you have clothing for warm weather, cool weather, for sleeping in, anything that you need. I also like to have a comfy pair of camp shoes that I can slide in and out of really easily, especially if I'm getting in and out of the tent a lot. I don't want to have to tie up hiking boots or tennies a whole bunch of times. I just like to have a comfy pair of shoes that I can slide on or off. If there's any chance of rain, remember to bring your rain jacket as well, and I always like to have an extra pair of socks with me. Alright, now we're going to move on to biggest beginner camper mistakes. First is arriving too late or arriving after dark. You don't want to be putting your tent together in the dark, especially if it's your first time doing it. It just makes it so much more difficult. You want to be able to have that time in the afternoon to relax. You don't want to feel rushed. So make sure you're giving yourself enough time to get to the campsite and to put all your stuff together before it gets dark out. Again, remember not to overpack. This can be in the form of too much food or unnecessary gear that you just don't need. Another big mistake is not checking the weather beforehand. Like I said, you're going to want a lot of layers no matter what, but checking if there's any rain in the forecast so you can pack your rain jacket if you need. Another mistake is buying expensive gear too early or buying too much of it. Save your money until you actually find out if you like camping or don't like camping. Then you can slowly upgrade your gear over time. If something breaks on you on your first camping trip, or if you find something that you really love but want to buy something that's better quality, that's the time to do it after your first camping trip. Slowly upgrade over time. Don't just buy everything really expensive right off the bat until you find out if you like it and what you actually need to upgrade. Another mistake is camping too far from home your first time. Now, I've told the story when we first did our rooftop tent. We went to our campsite. We went maybe about 45 minutes away from home, and I didn't screw on the ladder beforehand because I was like, oh, we'll just do it at the campsite. I've got all the tools and everything to do it. And then I found out we were missing the nuts for it. So we weren't actually able to attach the ladder to our rooftop tent, which is an essential part of the tent because it is used to actually hold up the side that is open. You got the open side here, and the ladder actually holds it up and provides support. So you need the ladder on it. And we were very, very lucky because one of the camp rangers actually had a few extra ones laying around. They weren't the right size or anything, but we made do because otherwise we would have had to try and see if a Lowe's or a Home Depot or something was open, which meant we had to pack everything back up to go leave, to go grab something like that, or even the possibility of having to go home altogether. So if you forget anything, if anything breaks, if anything goes wrong, you don't want to be too far away from home. Again, I've talked about planning too complicated of meals, not bringing enough layers of clothing clothing or blankets. And the last big mistake is not testing out your gear beforehand. Like I said, do your tent in your yard, do your air mattress, make sure everything has no rips, tears, or holes in it, and that you know how to put them together. And camping can feel really intimidating until you go out and just do it. So it might feel a little scary, but once you do it your first time, or like I said, bringing somebody along who's done it makes it a lot less intimidating, and I promise it's not as scary as it seems. Your first trip does not have to be perfect. It's okay for things to go wrong. Keep it simple and go and try it out and have fun. I promise it gets easier and more fun the more that you do it. And that is it for this video. If you have any beginner camping tips or tricks, definitely make sure to leave them in the comments. I would love to hear them. Maybe I'll share a few in another video. And if you want to see more camping videos, camping tips, sharing how I find campsites, bringing you on my camping adventures with me, definitely make sure to go follow me on TikTok and Instagram because I post every day there. And if you're not subscribed to me here, please make sure to do so as well. It would mean a whole lot to me. And thank you so much for watching.